Tyra Parker, and I live in the city of Philadelphia, and my child attends public school. And I'm a single parent raising a daughter, one child.
My name is Rand Somerville. I have 3 sons, and this right here is my baby son, Emmanuel, and he's a 2nd grader.
She came home and she said, "Mommy, the children are cursing at me." I've seen, the name calling, the fighting, the, attacking of children, of one another.
It's tremendous distractions. I mean, the distractions are, there's more distractions than education.
It feels like torture almost, because the kids keep cursing and some of the girls even want to fight me.
You can protect your children at home, but when they're in school, they're just exposed.
Coming home, it was the bully every day.
You're putting your child in the care of the school, the teachers, to watch over them when you're not there.
The conflict, the overcrowding, not enough staff, not enough intervention.
It's not necessarily a nurturing environment, more like, whoever the strongest survives kind of thing. Like, I know you're not being taught what you need to be taught because you're not even learning more of what you learned last year. It's just, so that was, a major concern, not wanting to start off, further behind.
We were seeing children that were in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade that could not read above a 3rd grade level, and they were transitioning out into a society that has become computerized, and these kids would become lost in this new culture that was developing.
Because they're not receiving an education that holds out any promise whatsoever of a meaningful, productive life in this society. Because they're receiving an education that is not affording them positive options, they have to choose negative ones.
Do you feel like it's a school where you can learn everything you want to learn?
No.
Children in our urban school districts are in crisis. 67% of our minority public school children cannot read at even a basic level. 50% of urban students never graduate from high school. Among African American males who began 1st grade in public schools, in some cities the graduation rate is only 10%. Inner city children who try to learn are persecuted by other students who do not want to be shown up. We are failing a generation of mostly poor city children. We are leaving them to a path devoid of any meaningful hope and filled with landmines of crime, addiction, continued poverty, teen parenting, and despair. This film shows that struggle in Philadelphia and the surprising response of God's people.
I desire for her to be in an environment that is nurturing for her.
I like to be in a Christian school because if you break a rule, you'll get in trouble, but if you don't break a rule, you'll be treated to something. But although it'll be more hard work and more homework, but I'm fine with that.
We have to find a way to make sure that Emmanuel has a strong foundation and a chance to really learn and grow.
A Christian school not only deals with, the academics, but it deals with the individual.
In response to this great need, God is doing an amazing and surprising work. He is raising up scores of Christian schools in every neighborhood of Philadelphia. Schools that can be lighthouses of learning and love and places of safety and nurture.
We began a school 6 years ago because a Christian education was essential for preventive measures by getting to the hearts of children and families that otherwise might find themselves stranded because of the existing educational system. It does not provide the kind of intensity and care and love that a Christian day school can do. So it prevents kids from maybe going wayward. But at the very center of it is the gospel, which we begin to realize what an opportunity we have in pre-K, first level, of meeting parents who are very concerned about their kids and sharing the gospel through the vehicle of children in their classroom.
On a scale from 1 to 10, with public school, my learning would probably be about a 5 because I'm determined still my own willpower, but I would rate it with the private school about an 8, considering that I have personal relationships with the teachers and that they speak with me after and during class, and they make sure that everyone understands it and I can apply it to my life.
I don't know of any of our students who've been here and have left who have actually dropped out of high school. I do not know of any who just gave up and didn't finish.
I believe that my relationship is 30 times stronger with God, because without that Bible class, I wouldn't have understood what He had for my life. So me understanding things about Genesis and what He wants me to do in my future, His promises that He has for me, and recently I'm learning how to pray better, not necessarily to say more or to say less, but how to talk to Him and have a better relationship with Him.
Christian schools may be our most powerful and effective outreach to inner-city children today, with staying power to hold and disciple them through the adolescent years, when so many, particularly young men, are lost.
If finances were not an issue, out of all the families at our church, probably say out of 1,000 families, I believe 100% of those families would actually have their children in a Christian school. Even those same parents who homeschool, I think they would actually have their children in a Christian school.
Yeah, I really think my daughter being in a Christian environment, a Christian school, would greatly benefit her academically, just being on the same playing level, learning what she needs to learn for preparing her for college and going on, further in her life.
Median income is about $12,000 per family, and therefore what happens is that they have to send them to the public school.
A few years ago, the Children's Scholarship Fund put up 1,200 scholarships in the Philadelphia region to any low-income parent who would apply. To everyone's amazement, 40,000 parents in Philadelphia applied to the Children's Scholarship Fund for 1,200 scholarships.
In 1996, the Children's Jubilee Fund was begun to help provide these scholarship funds. The Children's Jubilee raises scholarship funds for children at more than 20 urban Christian schools. The average inner-city scholarship family earns $19,000 per year, and yet only about $1,000 per child is needed in financial aid to gain admission to a Christian school.
We still have 900 seats that are unfilled in our member schools, and it's our duty, I feel, to fill those seats. And there are plenty of students. The barrier to filling the seats is money, and our job is to raise the funds to enable those children to come into those seats and receive a Christian education.
The vision that drives the Scholarship Fund is to open the door to Christian schooling for thousands of inner-city children who otherwise will not grow, will not learn, and will not enter our society in a way that can be productive and bring honor and glory to Jesus Christ.
Without the scholarships, it would probably be an impossibility.
What was it like for you when you got the word that you could come?
I couldn't talk for like a minute, right? 2 minutes. I couldn't talk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was so happy that Emmanuel would have a good education in a safe place. He was languishing where he was, the school that he was at. And when we got the news that he could come here, we had hope.
she would be so upset of the things that are going on in school, and she would say, "Mommy, please take me out of here. You could really, really take me out of here." She said, "Well, you can homeschool me." I'm like, "Well, how am I going to work? I got to work. You know, I have to take care of you." So I really actually considered it, you know. I'm like, well, I don't know how I would work it, but, you know, just to hear your child's cry and really, you know, like, be just like, what do I want to do? So I'm just a little emotional thinking about all the things that we have been through. So.
Tyra and Felicity are still waiting, hoping, and praying to their Father in heaven. With them are thousands of concerned inner-city parents pleading to God for their children. The Christian schools are ready and willing to serve. Only the lack of financial aids stand in the way. Through Children's Jubilee Fund, caring donors, businesses, and churches can now welcome Felicity and young people like her into the safe, nurturing atmosphere of a Christian school. A viable, proven way is now available to reach out and restore education for inner-city children in Christ's name. How could we contemplate doing anything less for the least of these, our brethren? As this happens, it will be a biblical and true jubilee. A jubilee where the cords that bound inner-city children to a future with no positive options are untied. It will be a freedom to be discipled by schooling that opens the door to a future of fruitful service in this life and for the life to come. To learn more about Children's Jubilee Fund, log on to our website at jubileefund.org to request information or visit a school.